Moving to this now, MultiChoice has announced that it will shut down Showmax, ending the streaming platform that was once positioned as the centerpiece of the growth strategy in Africa. The Showmax board made the decision following a comprehensive review of the company's streaming activity. Now, MultiChoice, part of French media giant, that's Groupe Canal+. For more on this, we're joined by Vermeulen from MyBroadband. Jan, good to have you on the program this evening. So MultiChoice has announced that it will discontinue Showmax. From your perspective, what does this decision tell us about the streaming industry and how it's evolving globally?
Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here. In this case, it's obviously cutthroat. It's nothing that we don't already know about the streaming industry. It's just that, unfortunately, Showmax and MultiChoice, well, MultiChoice specifically, before Canal Plus took over, made several very, very bad mistakes with Showmax that meant it just was not competitive with the rest of the field. And so, where MultiChoice used to just dominate in South Africa and in everywhere where it operated on the African continent, that dominance has been eaten up by international competitors now when it comes to general entertainment. In sport, MultiChoice is still king, but when it comes to general entertainment, there's a lot more competition out there now.
Yeah, let's expand on that. Showmax has been part of the African streaming landscape for nearly a decade. How significant has the platform been in really shaping the region's digital entertainment market?
Yeah, it's been a big player, and before the Showmax 2.0 changeover, it served the diaspora market as well. People who were, who were outside Africa, who could then tune in to their favorite local programs from the platform, and that all got shut down, when Showmax 2.0 rolled out. And so that's already one big loss that's happened even before this. And yeah, Showmax, I actually have very fond memories of the platform, of its launch in South Africa, because I still remember the day, in August 2015, when the platform was officially announced. And it was very forward thinking at the time. They knew that Netflix was about to launch, and they preempted it. Netflix only went international, went global, January of 2016. And so Showmax and MultiChoice, they already saw what was coming, and they tried to get it out ahead of it. But unfortunately, several missteps along the way means that they unfortunately, weren't able to follow through at the end of the day. But it was instrumental in shaping the African entertainment landscape. Unfortunately, outside South Africa now, if we look beyond South Africa's borders, the broadband adoption and the cost of data just did not come down fast enough. And broadband adoption did not accelerate fast enough for Showmax to really grow at the level that they needed it to grow.
Jan, the company invested quite heavily in relaunching Showmax in partnership with Comcast. What were behind their ambitions or behind the strategy? And what were they hoping to achieve at the time?
Yeah, this is where the big open question lies, because at the time, with just the facts at hand that we had, it looked like a fantastic idea. And then MultiChoice's first financial results came out post the deal. And when you start scratching, you realize, holy cow, you are spending billions of rands on platform fees that are being paid to Comcast, NBC Universal, Peacock. And you are bleeding a huge amount of money. Showmax is making operating losses. Then the projections that they showed to investors before this was set to happen showed that the operating losses would cap, and I think it's at around 2 billion rand, and then would begin to decrease. But in fact, from last year's results, they increased. The operating losses were over 4 billion rand last year. And so that just showed that there was just a very poor financial foundation underpinning this Showmax 2.0 strategy. Yeah. Everything else looked great. The platform was fantastic. The content was great. The content strategy looked good. It looked promising. but it was on this, it really had a millstone around its neck in terms of the finances, and there was no way it was going to dig itself out of that hole.
So streaming has become an increasingly competitive space with players like Netflix and Disney Plus. How challenging is it for regional platforms, Jan, to really compete with global streaming giants?
Incredibly challenging, and this is part of the reason for Canal Plus's acquisition of MultiChoice on paper, is that they said that the idea here is to build its own global powerhouse to try and hold its own against the likes of Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, Disney Plus, and all those. And now, with the break from Comcast and Peacock, we might, see Comcast and Peacock entering the market directly, maybe even Paramount Plus, which has also been a long-standing partner of MultiChoice's. And we'll see. Like, there's still a lot of open questions about what this means down the line. But yeah, it's incredibly competitive. All these platforms Disney controls a huge amount of very valuable intellectual properties. It is still a partner of MultiChoice and a partner of Canal Plus, and so Canal Plus has been very good about maintaining third-party relationships with content owners, including Warner Brothers Discovery, famously, which was a big issue at the end of last year. And so they try to offer all the content and access to these third-party platforms within the Canal Plus product, and that might be what we'll see in South Africa as well. And so yeah, it's very much if you can't beat them, join them kind of model. Because of how competitive it is, and it's just going to get more competitive. As I said earlier, MultiChoice's, uncontested lead at the moment is live sport, and as these platforms expand, they've already started getting into live sport and bidding, putting their deep pockets into bidding for sports rights, and they could eventually end up pricing MultiChoice and Canal Plus out of the market there. And then, you might see big international tournaments, World Cups, go to Netflix or Amazon or even Disney instead of coming to MultiChoice, DStv, and Canal Plus's platforms.
And Vermeulen, thank you so much. He joins us from MyBroadband, of course, helping us make sense of the story, as MultiChoice has announced that it will shut down Showmax, also ending the streaming platform that was once positioned as the centerpiece of its growth strategy on the African continent.